Hello, Earthlings. This is Scoop here to remind you that the Earth is spinning madly around on its axis, causing the creatures who live on the surface to get dizzy and bump into each other, making news. And here are some stories about life in the food chain and who's eating whom. We begin at the Environmental Protection Agency, which has set up the Amphibian Crisis Committee. And the crisis is not a plague of frogs. Instead, the frogs are disappearing and mutating, and they're not mutating into princes. Scientists believe the frogs are disappearing either due to vanishing habitat or to vanishing ozone and too many ultraviolet rays, which can be harmful to living beings, especially those without skin. But consider the consequences of disappearing frogs. If there are fewer frogs, there will be a lot more mosquitoes. If there are fewer frogs, then the snakes will have to slither into the suburbs to find new sources of food. And if there are fewer frogs, what will the French people do? As those New Age folks say, it's all connected. But let's take the deep ecology point of view, which asks us to value nature for its own sake, not just for how it affects humans. So we might try to see frogs as leading important froggy lives. They have good days and bad days, mothers, children. Remember, froggy went a-courting. But if you can't work up any feeling for the frogs, then how about the birds? Biologists say that 2/3 of the bird species on Earth are in decline, including the canary, which isn't even in the coal mine anymore. Or perhaps you might be more concerned that the number of songbirds in the United States has decreased by 75% in the last 30 years, taking their songs with them. And the ivory-billed woodpecker, considered by many to have been the largest, most spectacular bird in North America, is now extinct. Which brings us to the fact that we are now living through a major turning point in the life of our planet, one of the biggest species die-offs in biological history. The last time this much life was dying was 65 million years ago when a comet ended the age of dinosaurs. It is believed that species may now be dying at a faster rate than ever before. And the main reason seems to be the burgeoning human herds, we won't mention any names, spreading across the planet and consuming everything in their path like a plague of very large locusts. The results can be found on the Endangered Species list, which in the future may be read as a kind of Nuremberg indictment for crimes against non-humanity. The list reads like a who's who of the animal world. All of our favorites from the TV nature shows are endangered: the elephants and gorillas, jaguar, leopard, rhinoceros, many species of monkeys. All of the animals of our fairy tales and mythologies are facing extinction. The whales and the wolves, 12 species of deer, 10 of turtle, 15 of parrot. All the creatures of our dreams and our poetry are dying: the lions and tigers and bears, oh my, along with the giant sable antelope, the giant armadillo, the Mongolian beaver, the Mexican bobcat, the American alligator, the Jamaican boa constrictor, and the thin-spined porcupine. The endangered species list should be posted in public places, read aloud in churches and schools, updated regularly in newspapers. Every time a particular species makes the list, maybe we should put its picture on milk cartons like a missing child. Otherwise, how will we know? Every time a species is declared extinct, we should have a worldwide wake saying goodbye forever, and then put up a statue somewhere of this species that no longer exists on Earth. Maybe each of us should adopt an endangered species, one that we are fond of, see what we can do to save it from extinction. We have so little time. It's now or never. Stand up for the right to arm bears. Become lion-hearted, foxy, howl for the wolf, pray for the mantis, and ask not for whom the frog croaks. It croaks for thee. And this is Scoop Nisker saying, if you don't like the news, go out and make some of your own immediately.